August 6, 1945. A clear morning over Hiroshima, Japan. People were going about their daily lives, heading to work, to school. The city was bustling, unaware that in a matter of moments, their world would be irrevocably shattered. At 8:15 a.m., a single American B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, flew high above. From its belly, a weapon of unimaginable power was released. 43 seconds later, it detonated. The world had never seen anything like it. This is the story of Hiroshima, the day humanity faced its darkest hour, and how that single moment forever altered the course of history, politics, and our very understanding of war. Before we delve into that fateful day, we must understand the context. The world was embroiled in the final, brutal stages of World War II. In Europe, the war had ended, but the conflict in the Pacific raged on with ferocious intensity. The United States, along with its allies, faced a determined Japanese empire that showed no signs of surrender. The battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa had resulted in staggering casualties on both sides, painting a grim picture of what a full-scale invasion of mainland Japan would entail. Allied military planners estimated that such an invasion could cost hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions, of lives. It was against this backdrop that a top-secret project, known as the Manhattan Project, reached its terrifying conclusion. For years, the brightest scientific minds had worked to unlock the power of the atom, driven by the fear that Nazi Germany might develop such a weapon first. Now, with Germany defeated, the United States possessed a power capable of ending the war in an instant. The decision to use it fell to President Harry Truman. Faced with the projected costs of an invasion versus the unknown horror of the atomic bomb, he made a choice that is still debated to this day. The target was chosen: Hiroshima, a city of significant military and industrial importance, and one that had been largely spared from conventional bombing, making it a perfect place to demonstrate the bomb's full effect. The bomb, codenamed Little Boy, was not just a larger version of conventional explosives. It was a nuclear-fission weapon. When it detonated 1,900 feet above the city, it triggered a chain reaction that released energy equivalent to 15,000 tons of TNT. The immediate effects were apocalyptic. A blinding flash of light, brighter than 1,000 suns, seared shadows onto walls and pavement. Ghostly imprints of people and objects vaporized in an instant. This was followed by a wave of intense heat, reaching thousands of degrees Celsius, incinerating everything within a 1-mile radius. Buildings, trees, and human beings were turned to ash. Simultaneously, a powerful shock wave radiated outwards, flattening nearly every structure within a 2-mile radius. Wooden houses collapsed like cards, and even reinforced concrete buildings were gutted. But the bomb's devastation didn't end there. It unleashed an invisible killer: radiation. Those who survived the initial blast and heat were exposed to lethal doses of gamma rays. In the days, weeks, and months that followed, thousands more would succumb to radiation sickness, a horrifying illness that caused their bodies to break down from the inside. Black rain, thick with radioactive fallout, fell from the sky, contaminating water sources and poisoning the survivors who desperately drank it. The city of Hiroshima, once vibrant, was transformed into a desolate, radioactive wasteland. The human toll was catastrophic. It's estimated that between 90,000 and 146,000 people perished, the vast majority of them civilians. These weren't just numbers. They were mothers, fathers, children, friends. They were people with hopes and dreams, whose lives were extinguished in a flash of light. The stories of the survivors, the hibakusha, are a haunting testament to the human cost. They speak of a city of ghosts, of wandering survivors with skin hanging from their bodies, of the desperate search for loved ones amidst the ruins, and of a profound silence that fell after the initial roar of destruction. The bombing of Hiroshima, followed 3 days later by the dropping of a second atomic bomb on Nagasaki, had an immediate and decisive impact on the war. Faced with this new, terrifying weapon and the Soviet Union's declaration of war, Emperor Hirohito intervened. On August 15th, he announced Japan's unconditional surrender, bringing World War II to its official end. The world celebrated the end of the conflict, but it was a celebration tempered by a new, chilling reality. Humanity now possessed the means for its own annihilation. The atomic bomb wasn't just a new weapon, it was a new category of existence. Its use ushered in the atomic age and completely redrew the map of global politics. The post-war world was no longer defined by conventional military strength alone. It was defined by the possession of nuclear weapons. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged as the two dominant superpowers, not just because of their economic and military might, but because they were the first to enter the nuclear club. This set the stage for the Cold War, a decades-long standoff characterized by ideological conflict, proxy wars, and a terrifying nuclear arms race. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction, or MAD, became the grim cornerstone of international security. The logic was simple and terrifying. If one side launched a nuclear attack, the other would retaliate with overwhelming force, ensuring the complete destruction of both nations. For almost 50 years, the world lived under the shadow of the mushroom cloud, with crises like the Cuban Missile Crisis bringing us to the very brink of nuclear Armageddon. The legacy of Hiroshima was felt in every diplomatic negotiation, every military budget, and every school's duck-and-cover drill. It created a world of bipolar tension, where the fate of civilization rested on a delicate balance of terror. Hiroshima did more than just create the Cold War. It fundamentally redefined the concept of warfare itself. Before 1945, total war was about mobilizing a nation's entire resources. After Hiroshima, total war meant the potential for total extinction. The sheer destructive power of a single nuclear device rendered traditional military strategies obsolete. Large-scale invasions between nuclear powers became unthinkable. The battlefield was no longer limited to soldiers. Entire civilian populations became frontline targets. This new reality spurred the creation of international bodies and treaties aimed at controlling the spread of nuclear weapons. The Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, for example, sought to prevent more countries from developing these weapons while aiming for eventual disarmament. It created a global framework, however imperfect, to manage this new existential threat. The legacy of Hiroshima also gave birth to a powerful global peace movement. Survivors Tahibaksha became some of the most vocal advocates for nuclear abolition, sharing their harrowing testimonies to ensure that no one else would suffer as they did. Their motto, "No more Hiroshimas," resonated across the globe, inspiring generations of activists, scientists, and politicians to work towards a world free of nuclear weapons. The image of the mushroom cloud became a universal symbol, a stark reminder of our capacity for self-destruction, and a powerful call for peace and human solidarity. Today, the city of Hiroshima stands as a powerful symbol of resilience and a beacon for peace. From the ashes of 1945, a modern, vibrant city has risen. At its heart is the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, a beautiful and somber space dedicated to the memory of the victims. The bomb dome, the skeletal remains of one of the few buildings left standing near the hypocenter, has been preserved as a permanent, gut-wrenching reminder of the destruction. Each year, on August 6th, people from around the world gather here for a memorial ceremony to lay wreaths, offer prayers, and renew their commitment to peace. But the legacy of Hiroshima is not just confined to memorials. It's a living legacy that continues to shape our world. The threat of nuclear weapons has not vanished. While the Cold War is over, several nations possess nuclear arsenals, and the risk of proliferation to new states or even non-state actors remains a grave concern. Modern geopolitical tensions serve as a constant reminder that the lessons of Hiroshima are as relevant today as they were over 75 years ago. It teaches us about the catastrophic consequences of unchecked conflict and the absolute necessity of diplomacy and international cooperation. The story of Hiroshima is a dark chapter in human history, but it is one we must never forget. It's a story of immense suffering, but also of incredible human resilience. It is a warning, a lesson, and a profound call to our better angels. As we look at the world today, with all its conflicts and divisions, the message from the ashes of Hiroshima is clearer than ever. We must choose dialogue over destruction, understanding over hatred, and peace over war. The fate of our shared future depends on it. Thank you for joining us on this journey through a pivotal moment in history. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the events that have shaped our world. Remember, Understanding our past is the key to building a better future. Thanks for watching.